Coming off a career season where he finished third in the Defensive Player of the Year award, TJ Watt cemented himself as one of the handful of top edge players in the NFL. First of all, it's important to know what Watt's role is in the Steelers' 3-4 defense. TJ plays pretty exclusively on the line of scrimmage from his left outside linebacker position. Compared to a 4-3 DN that may occupy a similar space, a 3-4 outside linebacker generally has more responsibility in the passing game, mostly taking on tight ends and running backs, but pass rushes a great deal more than a 4-3 outside linebacker. Watt possesses a couple of main tools in his arsenal to help him storm past tackles and create havoc in backfields. The most prevalent on film is a dip and rip, a simple move, but with his speed and the perfection of technique, most tackles aren't able to counter it. Here, Watt is lined up at left end, originally standing up, then putting his hand down in the dirt. The Steelers are bringing Mark Barron on a blitz, helping to occupy the halfback, so TJ knows he has one-on-one with the right tackle. He hits Rob Havenstein with a great dip and rip move, combining it with a great short area quickness to get under the tackle and into the backfield. Also peep the swipe Watt gives at Goff at the end. We'll talk about his ability to generate turnovers later on. But one more time. Dip, rip, hit. Here against the Niners, he's going to force a bad throw by Jimmy G. Watt again goes to the rip move, using his inside hand to tear through Mike McGlinchey's fake run block. Survives a hand to the face penalty, and gives McGlinchey another swipe to keep him off him, before diving at Garoppolo, forcing a back-footed throw. Against the Browns last season, Watt got an excellent jump on the snap to line up another sack. He comes off the line like a sprinter, runs through the turnstile that is Chris Hubbard, squeezes the pocket, and brings down Mayfield in under 2.5 seconds. TJ has combined his speed, quick twitch athleticism, and outstanding technique to become a top-tier pass rusher over the last 2 seasons, notching 27.5 sacks and 132 QB pressures. Here versus the Seahawks, Watt is rushing from a wide 9 position, lined up way outside the tackle. He explodes off the edge, and thanks to this great stunt where Stephon Tuitt occupies the right guard and right tackle, he gets a free shot at Russell Wilson. Watt is into the backfield within seconds, bringing down Russ on a 3rd down. On this play, Watt is standing up against All-Pro Ronnie Stanley. He fights off a hold and is able to get to Lamar. Jackson should step up here, but he tries to Houdini his way out of the back of the pocket as he so often does, and Watt is able to punish him for the mistake. In 2018, Watt was responsible for much more coverage than last season, and his numbers were not that great, giving up 22 completions on 27 targets and had a passer rating of 99.7 against him. That season, he also had the 2nd most snaps in coverage of any edge rusher with 131. Thanks to added depth at linebacker, Keith Butler changed TJ's role in 2019. When Watt's snaps in coverage were cut in half from the season prior, his performance drastically improved, only allowing 2 completions on 5 attempts for 13 yards and snatching 2 picks. This first play, Watt is in a stand-up edge spot and drops into the flat on a cover 3. He picks up Raheem Mostert on an out and sticks with him in his zone. This isn't some SportsCenter top play, but it shows discipline and just doing his job. If Watt left his zone to pick up Kittle, Mostert has an easy 20 yards of open space, which could have led to a huge play for the Niners. For all you youngsters out there, every player is not going to make a highlight play on every down. Sometimes you just gotta do your job, don't get a whole lot of credit, but you're helping out your team. Watt is versatile enough to play the flats and was employed to bump the slot, then fall to the flat when the Ravens went spread. This play against the 49ers, he shows expert play recognition, not getting fooled on the play action pass. He gets his hand on Kittle and scrapes down on the stretch. Then, once he reads Garoppolo pulling the ball away, he gets vertical, gets his hands up, and deflects the ball. And check out one more batted ball by Watt. You can't hope to throw over him. So we know TJ can get to the QB and drop back in coverage, but what about the non-sexy stuff? The dirty work. Shooting the gap to blow up a play, or setting the edge to force a run inside, or crashing down the line on a counter. Watt can do it all and is a force of nature in the run game. On this play against New England, Watt is coming off as a stand-up edge guy. Watch as he works from the tackle's outside shoulder, sheds off the block with a quick swim move, and meets Sony Michel in the backfield for a loss of 3. Here's a play that won't go into a highlight reel, but is just as important as any other play. TJ is in his usual outside linebacker position, sheds the block from the tackle, plugging the B gap and forcing Melvin Gordon to cut back into the teeth of the Steelers defense. Watt is an expert on setting the edge on run plays. Like here versus George Kittle, arguably the best blocking tight end in the NFL, and Watt just dominates him. He gets leverage on Kittle's inside shoulder, then shoves him to the ground before he racks up another tackle for loss. In Pittsburgh's first game versus Baltimore, Watt does a great job at playing the edge in the severe option. He sets the edge, indicating to Lamar that he should give the ball to the back. But look at Watt's feet. He's not playing flat-footed, and he's slowly scraping inside as to not take himself out of the play. And once he sees that ball handed off, he commits and makes a strong leaping tackle. Later on, Watt and Vince Williams team up to make a great play. TJ reads the counter early and knows Stanley wants to chip him for the pulling guard and then get to the second level. So Watt engages Stanley, forcing him to step down and play the gap. This shifts the pulling guard's attention to Vince Williams, who blows up both the guard and pulling tight end, giving Ingram no place to go, allowing Watt, who has now bounced off Stanley, to make another leaping tackle for loss. Here against the Colts, Watt is going to blow up a read option before Brissett even has a chance to think. TJ is coming off a well-designed blitz from the outside linebacker spot, shifting his run inside, coming into the backfield untouched. He attacks the mesh point, and although he can't bring Brissett down, he stops the ball for Williams to finish the play. And what really stood out to me about TJ's film is his nose for the football. It seemed like every game, it was a guarantee he would create a turnover. Last season, he led the NFL in forced fumbles with 8, and through his career has generated 18 total turnovers. Like these 2 strip sacks on Fitzpatrick late in the 4th. On the first, he gets straight up field and hits the over-pursuing tackle with a perfectly timed swim move back inside, swiping the ball from Fitz and recovers it. The second comes on this rollout. Watt again gets vertical before this time giving the spin move. He's stoned at the line, but notice Fitz is leaving the pocket and beelines towards him. With perfect timing of his hand, Watt extends, stopping the throw, and strip sacks Fitz all in one motion. In week 17 of last season, Watt shows off a textbook ball punch that would make Draymond Green jealous, striking Gus Edwards on the inside arm as Watt connects his fist with the top of the ball. I love this pick against the Cardinals because Watt sticks to his assignment and plays underneath. The Steelers did their homework and defend the mesh to perfection. Watt doesn't chase David Johnson and baits Kyler into making an ill-advised toss. Generating turnovers is a skill, but can somewhat be random in the NFL. Being in the right place at the right time might seem like luck, but when it happens to you as often as it does to TJ, you can tell he's generating his own luck. A great example are his 2 turnovers against San Francisco. The first, the 49ers are running a fake end-around screen. Watt is moved out left, and once he resets the screen, he throws off his blocker, sheds another, and is ready to level Matt Breida before the ball pops up right in front of him. Lucky play, but he put himself in the position to get that luck. The second came on a bad exchange on another fake fly sweep. Watt is upfield, ready to pop James Jr., but instead has the ball gifted at his feet for a fumble recovery. Now when it comes to negatives, there are very few for Watt. After all, he was a first-team All-Pro. Like I mentioned earlier, his biggest weakness in his first 2 seasons were in pass coverage, but his role has adapted, and now he isn't being relied on as much in coverage. His overall game has benefited. I think an area that is a problem at times for Watt is getting lost in space. There were a couple of instances against the Ravens where he was fooled on the option. Then again, Lamar was the league MVP for a reason, so I don't blame him that much for being exposed on the edge. I would like to point out this play a little later on in the third against the Ravens. Watt is lost in space from miscommunication. The corner has to give an undercall here so that the flat defender can pass off his man and make his way into the flat. Watt engages for too long and it's an easy pass for Lamar. or here against the Pats on the second play from scrimmage. Again, there seems to be a miscommunication at the line on alignment. Watt crashes down the line with the tackle, yet completely misses Brandon Bolden and the ball on a fly sweep. Again, these instances are few and far between. TJ Watt is going to be elite for the foreseeable future. His ability to generate pressure, stop the run, and create turnovers, and when needed, drop into coverage, is setting him up for a long and fruitful career. If you're looking for a 2020 Defensive Player of the Year, I'd certainly be betting on TJ Watt. Thanks for watching. Be sure to leave a like and subscribe if you aren't already. If you want more football breakdowns, check out our latest videos on rookie Denzel Mims and JC Jackson. Also, let us know who you'd like to see us break down next in the comments below.